Hi everyone, Sam Dever of the Social Media Show, here again at Author 101, and I am joined by the founder of the League of Extraordinary Young Women, Valerie Jeannis. Valerie, thank you so much for taking the time.
No problem. Very happy.
I love that title. Tell me about the League. I can't help but think of the movie, League of Extraordinary Men, but you seem to have taken that and gone a different direction with it. So if you could, tell us a little bit about what you're doing.
Well, just like in the movie, there was a whole bunch of people who had all these talents, and I feel like a lot of our young women, we have all these great potentials, we have all these gifts, but we don't always see it.
Right.
And because you don't recognize it or acknowledge it, you're not using it. So how can we help young women tap into their gifts, their talents, their potentials now, as opposed to waiting until later on in life?
Absolutely. And what inspired you to start this? How did it come about? I'm sure there's a story.
There's always a story. My story started with a bad relationship. And I was in a situation where I was engaged when I was 19, 20 years old. And it was bad. But on the outside, it looked really good. And everybody was just like, oh, I want to be like
things
you.
Are great.
Yeah, and it wasn't. And even though at the time I couldn't tap into my own power to get out, I made a commitment and a decision that I don't want other young women to go through the same thing. I don't want them to feel like they have to settle or compromise or to feel like they have no other options. So it became my mission to make sure like they knew there's more to you.
I love it. I absolutely love it. And I think I'm sure the response you've gotten. Can you tell us about the response you've gotten from people?
Oh, it's so awesome. So you never know how your story or how anything you do will have an impact on other people. And one of the things that I recognize, not only from my story, but from the stories of these girls, is people want help. They want somebody to listen. They want to know they have options. And so when they hear somebody else who's going through something similar, because when we're going through it, we always feel like it's just us.
Right.
And there's nobody else,
right.
And nobody will understand. But when you see somebody who's gone through it, who was there, and who's gotten out, you have hope. And I think one of the most exciting things for me is when somebody sends me a message and they let me know like they made another choice, because they now were aware of the fact that they had another choice.
Absolutely, and I think it's important that, I think in any topic in life, like a lot of people, we're all going through the same stuff.
Yeah.
But it takes someone as yourself to become that leader to, hey, I'm going to come out and start talking about this, and I'm sure you've been amazed at how many people see that confidence in you, get confidence in themselves to speak up and talk. And we are the social media show, and how big a role has social media played?
Look, I've been based in New York City, right? And once upon a time, you were limited by where you lived. Because of the internet, there are people following me. I came to Author 101, and one of the mothers came up to me and she told me, oh, my 16-year-old daughter loves you. I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, yeah, she follows all your stuff. She watches all your videos.
You're a celebrity.
I have no idea who this girl is. But because of social media, she's able to get impact by something that I say or do. So I think it just opens the platform. And in life, there are people watching us, and it's just like take that times a lot. Online, there are people watching you as well. And one of the things that I've learned is that people, especially in the beginning, people are not always going to be commenting or liking or letting you know that they're there, but they are there and they are listening.
Hit it on the head.
So, yeah.
I think I saw a stat one time. It was like 92% of the people online don't interact, and like 6% may interact, and that 2% really interact. So like, even though people aren't liking or commenting, doesn't mean they're not seeing it.
It doesn't. So one of my favorite movies is Julie and Julia.
Okay.
And there's a point in the movie where she's blogging, and she's like, is there anybody listening? And the only person who's calling her is her mother, telling her, what are you doing? Stop wasting your time. But because she was consistent, and because she continued and followed through on her goal to share this journey, look what happened. Like a movie is written, like a screenplay came from it. So I know you didn't ask, but one of the things I highly recommend anybody who's on social media is don't stop. If you have a message, even if you feel like nobody's listening, you have to trust the process. People are listening, people are watching.
It's almost like in any entrepreneur or anything you're doing, it's just it's kind of cliche, but faith. You know,
Yeah.
you just got to know that what you're doing is the end goal, and you're supposed to be doing it. So I love that. It's great for our listeners and viewers. Well, thank you so much for taking the time, and I hope
No
you've
problem.
enjoyed Author 101. Where can the people find you?
Well, League of Extraordinary Young Women.com.
I love it. That's all we need to know. I'm sure on Facebook, they type that in on Facebook.
League of
they'll find it.
Extraordinary. Facebook, YouTube, all of them. League of Extraordinary Women.com.
Everyone look out for her. It's going to be big. It's already getting there. But Valerie, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I'm Sam Dever, and this is the Social Media Show.